Good morning, viewers. Welcome to my YouTube channel of Astrologer Anil Aggarwala. Today we will be talking about full moon chart of 5th July 2020 and the fate of brawl between the neighboring countries, especially India, China, and India, Pakistan. So I've written an article, friends. So I will just read it out to you and I will give a link in this video. And you see, the full moon of the 5th July 2020 is coinciding with the lunar eclipse, which is phenomenal region only, hence it does not have any effects. Numeral means the shadow of Earth will fall on the outer region of actual affliction due to eclipse. It is also Guru Purnima. The eclipse is visible from America, Africa, South, West Europe, and Antarctica. So, friends, uh, we will talk about it. You see, I've drawn a chart. The chart is of Leo Lagna, and the Lagna Lord is placed in the 11th house with Rahu and Mercury. Mercury is retrograde, the 2nd and 11th Lord, and the day is Sunday, and the Lord is Sun, placed in the 11th house with the 11th Lord Mercury. The lunation is taking place in the sign Sagittarius, which is the 8th house of the India Foundation chart, is not good because the Jupiter will be fallen in that sign, and it is also the 22nd Dreshkon Lord for India. So there can be religious fundamentalism and something to do with the ninth house. What is ninth house? House is also connected to law, etc. Law, justice. So friends, for India especially, the 22 second Dreshkon sign and the Dreshkon Lord in the 8th house in a fallen state and afflicted is not good. And also for China, since it is the 12th house of the foundation chart of China and also the 22nd Dreshkon for China. So for China and India, it is not very good. But then we have to see who is stronger. So we will discuss all that. The lunation is taking place in the 5th house of the lunation chart. Hence, the signification of the 5th house and the 8th house will be more prevalent in this fortnight starting from the 5th July 2020. Since the luminaries are connected to the nodes, there may not be good happenings related to the relevant houses because the luminaries are connected to the nodes, and they are afflicted. As a matter of fact, they are afflicted. They may be at a little distance, but they are afflicted. But the good thing is that the sun and the moon are out of the grip of Rahu and Ketu. Fifth house. Fifth house is educational institution, all forms of national player, entertainment industry, cinema halls, speculation, stock exchange, immorality, high society, and functions. Danger to the ruler as it is the 8th house from the 10th house. Online crime according to B.V. Raman. Now, 8th house is death of the national rulers, end of the government, destruction of the state, any setback in the cabinet, trouble to the people of the country by famines, epidemic, and then it is also represents scientific organizations, hidden things and scams. You know, a lot of scams, especially for China. No, a lot of scams will be unearthed as far as China is concerned, because China has a Kapat Yog in its horoscope. The Lagna Lord is placed in the 8th house and it is aspected by fallen Jupiter, which is the 12th house and the 22nd Dreshkon Lords. Now, since Jupiter fallen will be over the Jupiter fallen in case of China, lot of scams will be unearthed. You know, whatever he has planned for the world, whatever his planning, whatever his espionage, all will come out and he will get a very bad name. He'll get a very bad name and all the countries will go against him. As I've already mentioned, it is possible that the coronavirus, the damages of the coronavirus throughout the world, the people have lost lives. All those people will put a claim against China in the International Court of Justice. It is just possible because the horoscope of China shows that since the ninth house is afflicted, the ninth lord is afflicted, it is retrograde, it is combusted, it is totally eclipsed with Ketu. So when the ninth, and Ketu is the avyogi planet for China. So what happens? That in such a case, insolvency takes place. So insolvency means that there will be a recession in the country till 22nd of 22nd of the month, probably February, 22nd February 2022. So the coming 2 years for China will be most disastrous. The economy of the country will be, it will burst. No, all the global countries will go against him. No country will support him, and because of that, China may retaliate in the form of in the form of war type situation. So he is liable to enter into wars. As I have discussed in my next video, I will be talking about that also. So the connection of the moon and Mercury to the fifth house of the lunation chart indicates strong roller coaster in the stock and financial markets. It also represents, the combination of Mercury and moon, especially Mercury retrograde, and in the nakshatra of Rahu. So what happens, that there is a possibility of an earthquake, and and I mentioned that since Rahu is in adverse motion till fifth, so the fifth will be the last day when there could be earthquakes. And yesterday we have already experienced some earthquakes and untoward happenings in Assam, in Bombay. There were excessive rains and there were floods and excessive rains. So fifth was very bad. But the good thing is that we may start getting respite. No, these 15 days are little better than the earlier, the previous lunation chart, which was from the 20th of June to 5th of July. Now, 5th of July onwards seems to be a better one. And if we talk about the war or brawl with China, the 10th house, the Leo sign is rising, and the Lagna Lord is placed in the 11th house. The 10th house has got the 10th Lord Venus. So the 10th house is very strong. So the battlefield of India is very strong. As far as the China or Pakistan is concerned, the 10th house from the 7th house is Scorpio sign, and the Lord is placed in the 8th house. So friends, because it is placed in the 8th house, it may change the place of attack, and there, because from the 8th house it aspects the 3rd house. So Mars aspects the 3rd house from the 8th house. So there is a possibility that there may be some terrorism. The connection, as we have talked about the connection, now connection of moon and Mercury is not good for weather, earthquakes, and we have seen yesterday there were excessive rains. Stock and financial markets today, you would see for yourself, there will be roller coaster rides in this. Virus and diseases. To see the virus and diseases, we have to see the Yoga Lord, and the Yoga Lord is Rahu. It is not placed well from the 6th house, 6th Lord. Then we have to see the 6th Lord from Moon, and that is also not placed well. And then we have to see in Navamsha, I've all discussed that, and it shows that the disease which is continuing, the virus, coronavirus, it may continue, but the potentiality of the coronavirus may start to reduce, as I've already been talking earlier also. But friends, do keep in mind that after Ketu shifts from Mula Nakshatra, it will go in Jyeshtha Nakshatra, and Jyeshtha Nakshatra is no better than Mula. I've also been talking about that Scorpio sign rules cancer disease and a lingering disease and a limping disease. And Ketu in Jyeshtha Nakshatra and the eclipse taking place in the Jyeshtha Nakshatra at 29 degrees is also prone to virus and diseases. I've also written an article that Ketu in Mula and Jyeshtha Nakshatra may leave a deep scar for the globe in the year 2020 to 2021. Please read that, especially Ketu in the Jyeshtha Nakshatra till 10th of May 2021 may be very bad as far as the virus is concerned, as far as the dengue is concerned, or diseases connected to water. I've already been, all has been discussed earlier in my videos and in my articles. So keep this in mind. There can be a relapse of coronavirus. It's very difficult to say. whether coronavirus will prolong or there may be a new virus. I've already discussed, because Jyeshtha Nakshatra is also no good. And planets in Jyeshtha Nakshatra, and then in Gandanta, the luminaries will be in Gandanta. So friends, this is very bad, whether especially it is very bad for America. And because this eclipse will be taking place in the 410 axis of Trump and the 410 axis of US. So friends, let us go further and see, will the enemy and the neighboring countries take an aggressive stance in the ongoing tension between India, China, and India, Pakistan? We are talking about this fortnight, only for 15 days. The Lagan is represented by India, and the seventh house is the opponents, and the seventh lord is retrograde. So the seventh, and it is placed in the sixth house. So it clearly shows that the opponent is weaker. In these 15 days, the opponent will be weaker. There will be a lot of pressure on him from the other countries. So he may not take any aggressive stance, but he will maintain wherever he is. He may not retrace, but he will maintain it. There may not be any aggressive action for the coming 15 days, but there can be terrorism, as I've already mentioned, that Mars is placed in the 8th house. It aspects the 3rd house of borders from the 8th house. So friends, 7th lord posted in the 6th house makes the opponent weak. But 7th lord going in the 6th house is secret thing. So he will do something secretive. That means China is very secretive. So he may plan something secretive. So India has to be cautious about that. He may open a new place where he may make some aggression. The 10th house from the Lagna is Venus in own house is stronger than the 10th house from this 7th house as placed in the 8th house. Hence, the battlefield of India is stronger than the opponent. Sun, Mercury, Rahu in the 11th house are good for India. Moon in the dual sign and Lagan fixed is good for India in this fortnight. Will the enemy arrive? So I've talked about each and everything, each and every aspect. The Lagna Lord is connected to Mars and the 9th Lord. This indicates non-arrival of enemy. That means even if he comes, it will be just a small brick betting type of a thing. It will not be any major issue. Malefics in the 5th and the 6th house, non-arrival of the enemy. There are malefics in the 5th house, Ketu, and in the 6th house, Saturn. So there is non-arrival of enemy. I'm just using the principles of astrology, and let us see they work or not. But according to me, I have been using these principles and I find absolutely spot on predictions. Mars from the 8th house aspects the 3rd house of borders. Hence, there could be some aggressive stance from the opponents. The position may become more intense when Mars enters the sign Aries. You see, the position will become more intense because the moment Mars goes in the sign Aries, it will directly aspect the 7th house. And as far as China is concerned, it will go in the 4th house and it will aspect this Mars in the 7th house, which is placed in the 7th house, Mars, which is debilitated, and the 7th house is watched. So Mars will activate the natal Mars of China after the 16th August. So it clearly shows that after 16th of August, things can go bad. But we are talking about these 15 days. So let us see actions after 16th August 2020, especially from the 9th September when Mars becomes retrograde. So when Mars becomes retrograde, it becomes dreadful. And I will be discussing Mars in my next video. I have discussed at length about Mars. We will be talking in the next video as far as the Mars is concerned. Since the sun and the moon are in the lunar signs, the attacking king may not win. So India should not take any aggressive stance in these 15 days. If India takes any aggressive stance, it's liable to beat a history retreat. But in case China or Pakistan does it, they will beat a history retreat. So 7th house is also in Pap Katri Yog. The opponent is in trouble, showing both China and Pakistan are in deep trouble. The 7th lord in 6th house in own sign, secret enemy, and may plan espionage through terrorism. The house is open enemies. 7th house is open enemies. So seventh house is open enemies. You can see your enemies. But sixth house, when the seventh lord is placed in the sixth house, it is a secret. He may plan something secretive, some espionage. So the okay, then fourth lord is in the eighth house, as I've already mentioned. The place of attack may change by the opponent and may shift the attention towards the south direction and the watery sign. Some south direction, the attention may go towards the south. He's probably moving his arms towards the South Sea. It is clearly visible from the this fortnight. As per the above lunation chart, Venus is the strongest planet, and counting from Venus to the 10th house is 10. Hence, the dispute with China may last. The active dispute means something strong. Will the coming 10 weeks will be definitely be a stronger one in which it can take an action, especially after the 20th of July. Hence, tensions till 20th September 2020 remain as from this lunation chart. Also, when the seventh lord begins to change the state of motion, and that will be 29th of September. So till 29th of September, things are extremely bad. If China has to take any aggressive action, it may take for 29th of September. When Saturn, the seventh lord, will become direct, especially when these planets, the slow-moving planets, become direct and they are stationary. That is the point. That point is very critical. So around the 29th, things are very critical. 5 days before and 5 days after. So no treaty and no peace. There are no good combinations for treaty and peace with Pakistan or China. You can see it for yourself. Even if they say that some treaty will take place, they will betray. They will, flout it. So according to me, there cannot be any treaty as far as this fortnight is concerned, and even in the coming fortnights. There is no good combination for treaty and peace since the Lagna Lord Sun and the seventh Lord are in 6-8 axis. When they are 6-8 axis, there is a physical fight. This indicates intense fight, violent fight, and keen contest between the countries. The seventh Lord in the sixth house, the dispute continues between the countries for a very long time. So, and Saturn is retrograde. There may be 3 attempts. Till Saturn is retrograde, there may be 3 encounters or more than 3 encounters, multiple encounters, but minimum 3. There is no affliction to the luminaries in the Navamsha, and both are benefic signs. Hence, good. From the above, it is clear that even if the neighboring states are in aggressive stance, they may not gain any mileage. India will have the upper hand. The dispute will last long. It is evident. The above analysis for the fortnight starting from the 5th July 2020 only for 15 days. The 5th July seems to be a malefic one as Rahu is in direct motion, and you can see for yourself what has happened on the 5th of July, because today Rahu has become normal. So till Rahu is in adverse motion, things have gone very bad, especially from the 20th of June to 5th of June. You have seen the number of spikes in the coronavirus, the number of earthquakes, the floods, the fire accidents, and other things all have taken place. It was basically because Rahu was at a stretch in adverse motion, and then Mars is aspecting Rahu. So Rahu becomes extremely violent. So friends, from today we get some respite, even if the earthquake will take place because Mercury is retrograde. So earthquakes can take place, but the intensity will not be more. So that is for sure. When Rahu is adverse and afflicted, but Rahu remains afflicted, so the intensity may not be more than 4.7 or 5. The intensity will be more when the Rahu is in adverse motion and afflicted. But Rahu remains afflicted till 16th of August. So we have to bear this in mind, and especially till 12th of July, because Mercury is also retrograde till 12th of July. So till 12th of July, you can have earthquakes, you can have volatility in the stock and financial markets. So this is about all. And today, when Rahu becomes direct, he has the capacity to turn the tables upside down. So I have not seen the market, but I can tell you beforehand that he has the capability of turning the tables upside down. So maybe the market goes down, or first it may go down, or maybe it becomes volatile and there may be roller coaster rides. Obviously, gold will go up. You can see for yourself. I've already predicted this. So, talking about this, then friends, stock and financial markets. Stock and financial markets may have some correction. It so seems gold may cross the $1,800 mark. It so seems plus minus $50. It can even cross 1850. Rain and floods may cause havoc in the central region in India as already predicted. Now friends, China has had the worst day as far as 5th July is concerned. You go on the Google and see 15 million people have been affected in China because of floods, and so have been affected in Japan. All these predictions were made by me beforehand, and I had specifically mentioned from 20th June to 5th of July is the most malefic time for floods, earthquakes, and untoward happenings, and even a brawl between the India and China, and terrorism between India and Pakistan. So, friends, astrology is just amazing. You apply them and you will get the results. Absolutely. I don't hide anything. I mention all the principles. Anybody who wants to learn astrology, mundane astrology, can go through this, take guidance from me, and he can learn mundane astrology. Mundane astrology is the most difficult subject because we have to see 41 charts for a year for a particular country, and looking at so many countries and coming to conclusion is most difficult. None of the astrologers can do mundane astrology. Nobody is interested in mundane astrology because nobody is paid for it. And until unless you know mundane astrology, you cannot predict good for even from the natal astrology and the natal charts, because you do not know the future until unless you know the mundane astrology. No, 99.99% astrologers failed. Nobody could predict coronavirus, and all the predictions have gone haywire. So mundane astrology all the more gains more importance. Somebody says you'll get a promotion, and there's an earthquake, and the country comes to an halt. There is some earthquake, tsunami, and all that. If he doesn't look at that, then what is the use of such predictions? So mundane astrology gains all the more, and mundane astrology is most important. And until unless astrologer knows the technique of mundane astrology, he cannot predict on the natal charts. Mind you, this is the most important parameter, and it is proved. All now astrologers are coming out with the dates and all that. Nobody is explaining anything. Now I just heard saw a video on the Facebook. Now another person has started saying that another virus will come. Why that virus will come, he's not able to explain. He doesn't even know that Ketu is going to change in just an nakshatra. Probably he has, I don't praise myself, probably he has seen my video or my link, and now he started saying, because he wants to become famous, so he has started saying that there will be measles type of virus which will come soon, but he's not mentioning the date. But my dear friends, that yes, it is possible, because Ketu is most unpredictable planet. It is a planet for virus, it is a planet for disease, and when it goes in Scorpio, Scorpio sign is the most difficult sign as far as astrology, medical science, cancer, lingering disease are concerned. And when on the 14th of December, the luminaries will be at 29 degrees in Gandanta, and the eclipse will also be taking place at that point. So friends, that is not good part of it. Let us see what happens. It may be, and then the worst part, the coming part is that when Ketu goes in Scorpio, the dispositor of Ketu, Mars, will be in fallen condition after the 4th of October. And then Mars will go in the sign Pisces, and the dispositor of Mars will also be fallen. So that time is not good. So friends, after the 4th of October to 24th of December, definitely it is a very difficult time for the world. I can tell you for that. That portion, I can definitely say that portion is going to be very tough. Whether coronavirus comes out with the second or third wave, or whether a new virus will come, that can be predicted, that can be seen. It may be waterborne diseases, all type of diseases, excessive floods and excessive rains. They are bound to give you dengue, so we can expect a dengue, and the dengue, and then some epidemic. So friends, this is about all. But these 15 days are good. If China takes any aggressive action, he has to pay a hasty retreat, because it is a face off. We China and India are at face off, and if it takes any aggressive action, he'll have to beat history retreat. And I will be talking more in my next video as far as Mars is concerned, and then another article I'll write when Sun goes in the sign Cancer. It will be opposed by Saturn, so that is a time, another time frame, 1 month, which is not good, because when Sun is opposed by Saturn, Saturn comes close to the Earth at 180 degrees, probably on the 21st of July. So friends, that is not a good time even for wars, etc. So friends, that is a time when China could be aggressive. So let us see and hope for the best, and wish you best of luck and for things, because things are now taking a turn. The luminaries are coming out of the nodes, and especially when they change the signs. I've already mentioned after 16th of July, there may be some relief. As far as the vaccines are concerned, I'm sure till the time Ketu is in the Mula Nakshatra, there will be no success. Even if the vaccines come, there will be no success. Ketu will make sure that these vaccines do not work properly. They will give varied results. Some people, they will get good results. Some people may not get good results. So friends, until unless Ketu leaves the sign and the just nakshatra, I can tell you Ketu is very, very dangerous, and Ketu is very unpredictable. And if Ketu, there are eclipses, especially connected to Ketu, it is very bad. And the 14th December eclipse is Ketu is involved in just nakshatra, and moon and sun are also there at 29 degrees some minutes, and then Ketu will be 25.5 degrees. So friends, this is about all I wanted to talk on. It's a good sign as far as India is concerned, as far as the brawl between India and China is concerned. So some cool atmosphere for 10-15 days. Let us see if China takes some aggressive stance, then he'll have to beat a history routine. So friends, see you in the next video, and thank you for listening to me. Bye bye and good luck.